Hello, family. Welcome to Stories with Pablo. Please subscribe and leave us a like. It means a lot to us. Also, share this video with your friends and loved ones and turn on post notifications so you don't miss our future videos. Thank you for doing so. In the heart of the savannah, where the sun painted the earth with strokes of gold and ochre, there lay the humble village of Nkwanta. The air was thick with the scent of wood smoke and the distant promise of rain. Thatched roofs clustered beneath ancient baobab trees, their roots gripping the earth like the hands of ancestors holding fast a memory. At the edge of the village, in a weathered mud brick hut patched with woven palm leaves, lived Mama Esi and her son, Kwame. Mama Esi was a woman of quiet dignity, her face lined with both hardship and hope. Her skin was a deep brown of fertile soil, her eyes large and gentle, framed by thick lashes and brows that arched in perpetual concern. Her hands were strong and calloused from years of pounding yam and tending fields, but her touch was soft when she stroked her son's hair at night. Kwame, barely 10, was a slender boy with bright, inquisitive eyes and a smile that could coax laughter from even the sternest elder. His hair was cropped close, his limbs long and nimble, and his laughter rang like a bell through the village paths. Scene: morning in Nkwanta. The morning sun crept through the gaps in the hut's walls, painting stripes across the sleeping forms of mother and son. Mama Esi rose quietly, wrapping her faded blue cloth around her waist, her movements careful not to wake Kwame. She stepped outside, her bare feet pressing into the cool earth, and gazed at her 2 chickens pecking near the cassava patch. "These chickens are all we have left," she whispered, her voice trembling with both fear and resolve. As she fetched water from the clay pot, the village slowly stirred to life. Roosters crowed, women called each other across the fields, and children's laughter floated on the breeze. Kwame appeared at the doorway, rubbing sleep from his eyes. He wore a shirt patched at the elbows and shorts that had once belonged to a cousin. His feet were bare, but his spirit was light. "Mama, is there food?" he asked, his voice hopeful. Mama Esi smiled, her worry hidden behind a practiced warmth. "There's always food for those who greet the morning with a smile," she replied, handing him a bowl of maize porridge. As they ate, Kwame's gaze lingered on his battered school books stacked in the corner. "Will I go to school today, Mama?" he asked quietly. Mama Esi's heart clenched. School fees were due, and she had nothing left but the chickens. "If the gods are kind, my son," she said softly, "you will learn today." Chapter 2. The Hard Bargain. After breakfast, Mama Esi tied her headscarf, a faded cloth with patterns of yellow sunbursts, over her tightly braided hair. She lifted a woven basket, gently coaxing her 2 plump chickens inside. Their feathers were a patchwork of russet and white, their eyes bright and wary. She took Kwame's hand, and together they walked the dusty path to the schoolhouse at the center of the village. The path wound past fields of maize and cassava, past clusters of children playing with homemade balls, and past elders seated beneath the shade of the baobab, their faces carved by wisdom and time. At the schoolhouse, a simple building of mud and tin, the headmaster, Mr. Mensa, awaited. He was a tall, thin man with a stern face softened by kind eyes, his skin the color of roasted coffee. His hair was peppered with gray, and he wore a crisp white shirt tucked into faded trousers. Mama Esi approached with humility, her voice steady but pleading. "Good morning, Headmaster Mensa. I have come to pay Kwame's school fees." Mr. Mensa glanced at the chickens, then at Mama Esi's face. "Esi, you know the fees must be paid in sadies, not chickens," he said gently. Mama Esi bowed her head, her voice trembling. "This is all I have. Please let him learn. He is a good boy. He will make us all proud." Kwame clung to his mother's skirt, his eyes wide with hope and fear. Mr. Mensa sighed, glancing at the waiting children. "Esi, I wish I could help. But rules are rules. The school needs money for chalk, for books, for the teacher's pay." Tears welled in Mama Esi's eyes, but she did not let them fall. "Please, Headmaster, take the chickens. Let my son have a future." A hush fell over the schoolyard as other parents and children watched. The moment stretched, heavy with the weight of hope and desperation. She held out the basket, her hands shaking, as if offering her very heart. The sun was high when a distant rumble echoed down the dusty road to Nkwanta. Villagers paused in their wake, shading their eyes as a convoy of sleek black SUVs, gleaming and out of place, rolled into the heart of the village. Children gathered, wide-eyed, as a vehicle stopped beside the ancient baobab tree. From the lead car stepped a man whose presence seemed to command the very air. He was tall, with deep ebony skin polished by the sun, and a regal bearing that set him apart. His face was strong and symmetrical, with high cheekbones, a broad nose, and eyes that sparkled with intelligence and warmth. He wore a tailored blue suit, crisp white shirt, and gold cufflinks that caught the light. His shoes, impossibly clean, sank slightly into the village dust. Whispers rippled through the crowd. "It's Chief Adu," someone breathed. "The billionaire from the city." Chief Adu smiled gently at the villagers, his gaze resting on the children, the elders, and finally on Mama Esi, who stood at the edge of the gathering, her basket of chickens at her feet and her son's hand in haze. Scene: a chance encounter. Chief Adu approached the schoolhouse, flanked by his aides. Headmaster Mensa hurried to greet him, bowing respectfully. "Chief Adu, we are honored by your visit," the headmaster said, his voice trembling with awe. Chief Adu's voice was deep and kind. "The honor is mine, Headmaster Mensa. I have come to see how the children of Nkwanta are learning. Education is a key to our future." As he spoke, his eyes fell on Mama Esi and Kwame. He noticed the basket, the nervous tension in their faces, and the way the other villagers watched with a mixture of hope and envy. "What is your name, madam?" Chief Adu asked, his gaze gentle. Mama Esi bowed her head. "I am Esi, sir. This is my son, Kwame." Chief Adu knelt to Kwame's level, his suit creasing as he smiled. "And what do you dream of, Kwame?" Kwame's voice was small but clear. "I want to learn, sir. I want to be a teacher so I can help my village." Chief Adu's eyes softened. "That is a noble dream." Scene: the sacrifice revealed. Headmaster Mensa, still uneasy, explained the situation. Mama Esi has brought her last 2 chickens to pay her son's school fees. But the rules. Chief Adu raised a hand, stopping him. He looked at Mama Esi, his expression both admiring and sorrowful. "You would give all you have for your son's future?" he asked quietly. Tears welled in Mama Esi's eyes, but she stood tall. "A mother's heart knows no price, sir. My son's education is worth more than gold." The villagers watched in silence, the weight of her words settling over them like the hush before a storm. Scene: a life changed. Chief Adu stood and addressed the crowd, his voice ringing with authority and compassion. "Let it be known today, no child in Nkwanta will be turned away from school for lack of money. I will pay the fee for every child here for as long as I draw breath." A gasp swept through the village. Mothers wept, fathers embraced their children, and Headmaster Mensa bowed his head in gratitude. Chief Adu turned to Mama Esi, his eyes shining. "Your sacrifices inspired me. From this day forward, you and your son will want for nothing. I will build you a new home, and Kwame's education will be assured wherever his dreams may lead." Mama Esi fell to her knees, overcome with gratitude. Kwame hugged her tightly, tears streaming down his face. "Thank you, sir," Mama Esi whispered, her voice breaking. "May the ancestors bless you." Chief Adu knelt beside her, placing a gentle hand on her shoulder. "It is your courage and love that bless us all." Scene: the village rejoices. The rest of the day was filled with celebration. Drummers played, women sang songs of praise, and children danced around the baobab tree. Mama Esi's hut became the center of joy, with neighbors bringing gifts of yams, plantains, and palm wine. Chief Adu joined the festivities, laughing and dancing with the villagers, his presence a beacon of hope. As dusk fell, Mama Esi stood outside her old hut, watching Kwame play with the other children. Her heart was light, her burdens lifted. Chief Adu approached, his silhouette framed by the golden glow of lanterns. "Your story will travel far, Mama Esi," he said softly. "You have shown us all the true meaning of sacrifice." She smiled, her eyes shining with tears and pride. "Thank you, Chief. May every mother's child know such kindness." Scene: the gift of a new home. The morning sun cast a warm glow over the village of Nkwanta, illuminating the simple mud brick huts and the sprawling baobab trees that had witnessed generations of life. But today, the village felt different, alive with hope and promise. Mama Esi stood outside her old, weathered hut, her hands folded over her heart. Her face, marked by years of hardship, now shone with a quiet joy. The villagers gathered around, their eyes wide with anticipation as Chief Adu unveiled the foundation of a new home. Sturdy walls of sun-baked bricks, a corrugated iron roof gleaming in the sunlight, and windows framed with carved wooden shutters. Chief Adu spoke with conviction, his voice carrying across the crowd. This home is a symbol of what is possible when we come together. Mama Esi, this is yours, a place where your family can grow, learn, and thrive. Tears streamed down Mama Esi's cheeks as she stepped forward, her fingers tracing the smooth bricks. Kwame stood beside her, his eyes bright with wonder and gratitude. This is more than a house, Mama Esi whispered. It is a new beginning. Scene: Kwame's first day at the city school. The city school was a world apart from the humble village schoolhouse. Towering buildings, bustling streets, and the hum of life surrounded Kwame as he stepped through the gates, clutching a brand-new backpack. His face was a mixture of excitement and nervousness, deep brown skin glowing with youthful energy, eyes wide with curiosity, and a smile that held both hope and determination. His clothes were neat and clean, a far cry from the patched garments of his past. Inside the classroom, Kwame met his new teacher, Mrs. Abina, a tall woman with warm eyes and a welcoming smile. Her voice was gentle but firm as she encouraged the children to dream big. Education is a key to unlocking your future, she said. And Kwame, you have already shown the courage to begin that journey. Kwame's classmates, a diverse group of children from many backgrounds, welcomed him with open arms. For the first time, he felt the thrill of belonging and the promise of possibility. Scene: the village transformed. Back in Kwanta, Chief Adu's generosity sparked a wave of change. The village school was renovated, new books and supplies arrived, and teachers were paid on time. Families who had once feared the future now gathered beneath the baobab tree to share stories of hope and progress. Mama Esi became a respected voice in the community, her story inspiring others to persevere. She worked alongside Chief Adu to establish a scholarship fund, ensuring that no child would be denied education for lack of means. The village flourished, not just in wealth, but in spirit. Together, we rise, Chief Adu declared at a community gathering, his eyes shining with pride. Scene: a mother's joy. One quiet evening, Mama Esi sat on the porch of her new home, watching Kwame study by the soft glow of a kerosene lamp. Her heart swelled with pride and gratitude. Her hands, once rough and worn, gently smoothed Kwame's hair as he looked up at her with a smile. "Mama, I will make you proud," he promised. She smiled, tears glistening in her eyes. "You already have, my son. You already have." Scene: the legacy of sacrifice. As the sun set over Nkwanta, casting long shadows across the fields, the village stood united, stronger, wiser, and filled with hope. Mama Esi's sacrifice had sparked a transformation that rippled far beyond her own family. The story of the poor widow and the billionaire became a legend whispered beneath the baobab trees, a reminder that courage, love, and generosity could change lives. "May every mother's child know such kindness," Mama Esi whispered to the wind, her voice carrying the promise of a brighter tomorrow. Chapter 5: Kwame's New World. Scene: the first challenge. The city was a whirlwind of color and sound, brightly painted buses rumbling down crowded streets, vendors calling out beneath striped umbrellas, and the scent of roasting plantains mingling with exhaust. For Kwame, it was both thrilling and overwhelming. His eyes, wide with wonder, darted from towering buildings to clusters of children in crisp uniforms. He clung to Mama Esi's hand, her presence a steady anchor in this unfamiliar world. Inside the gates of his new school, Kwame's heart pounded. The other children glanced curiously at the newcomer in his neat but unfamiliar uniform. Some whispered, others smiled. A tall boy with a gap-toothed grin approached. "You're the boy from Kwanta, aren't you?" he asked, his voice friendly. Kwame nodded, his voice small but steady. "Yes, my name is Kwame. I'm Kojo. Don't worry, you'll get used to it here," the boy said, slapping Kwame on the back with a laugh. Mama Esi watched from the gate, her heart swelling with pride and worry. She caught the eye of Mrs. Abina, who nodded reassuringly. Scene: a lesson in courage. The classroom was filled with sunlight and the low hum of voices. Mrs. Abina wrote a math problem on the board, then turned to the class. Who will solve this for us? Kwame hesitated, then slowly raised his hand. All eyes turned to him. He stood, his legs trembling but his mind sharp. He worked through the problem, his voice clear and confident. When he finished, the class erupted in applause. Mrs. Abina's smile was radiant. Well done, Kwame. You are brave and clever. Kwame's cheeks flushed with pride. For the first time, he felt he truly belonged. Seen, Mama Esi's new purpose. While Kwame adjusted to city life, Mama Esi found herself swept into a new world as well. Chief Adu staff welcomed her with warmth, teaching her new skills and inviting her to community meetings. Her face, once drawn with worry, now glowed with quiet confidence. She joined a group of women who worked to support mothers and children in need. Her voice, gentle but firm, became a beacon for others. We must lift each other up, she told the group, her eyes shining. If one child succeeds, we all succeed. The women nodded, inspired by her strength and humility. Seen, the return to Nkwanta. Months passed, and the time came for Mama Esi and Kwame to return to Nkwanta for a visit. The village greeted them with open arms, marveling at Kwame's growth and Mama Esi's newfound confidence. Chief Adu hosted a celebration beneath the baobab tree. Drummers played, children danced, and elders shared stories of the village's transformation. Kwame stood before the crowd, his voice strong. I am who I am because my mother believed in me, and because our village stood together. Let us never forget the power of kindness. The villagers cheered, their faces lit with hope. Seen, seeds of the future. As night fell, Mama Esi and Kwame sat outside their new home, watching fireflies dance in the warm air. The stars above seemed brighter, the world full of promise. Mama Esi took Kwame's hand, her heart full. You have a great journey ahead, my son. But never forget where you come from, and never stop helping others. Kwame nodded, his eyes shining with dreams. I promise, Mama. The story of the poor widow and her son became a legend not just in Nkwanta, but in every village where hope was needed. It was told and retold, a reminder that sacrifice, love, and generosity could change the world. Chapter 6. The Ripple Effect of Hope. Seen, Mama Esi's vision for the village. The sun rose gently over Nkwanta, casting a warm glow on the newly built school and the bustling village center. Mama Esi stood beneath the great baobab tree, her face radiant with purpose and hope. Her deep brown skin was smooth with newfound strength, her eyes bright and clear, framed by strands of silver in her tightly braided hair. She wore a simple but colorful Kent cloth wrapped elegantly around her slender frame, her posture proud yet humble. Around her, villagers gathered, mothers with babies on their backs, young men and women eager to learn, and children clutching new books. The village had transformed since Chief Adu's intervention, but Mama Esi knew the journey was just beginning. Education is a seed of change, she said, her voice steady and warm. We must nurture it with love, patience, and community. Her words echoed the spirit of countless stories from across Ghana, where villages like Nkwanta were becoming beacons of learning and resilience despite hardships. Seen, the teacher's dedication. Inside the refurbished schoolhouse, Mrs. Abina prepared her classroom. The walls were now adorned with colorful charts and printed alphabets, a stark contrast to the bare mud walls of old. Her face, framed by a neat head wrap, was marked by years of dedication. Her dark eyes shone with passion as she arranged new textbooks and teaching aids donated by the community and supporters. Her voice carried the same determination as a village teacher in a remote Ghanaian village who, despite limited resources, created her own materials and rallied parents to support their children's education. Every child deserves a chance, Mrs. Abina whispered, smiling as she watched Kwame and his classmates settle in. We will make this place a home for dreams. Seen, community empowerment. In the village square, a group of women, led by Mama Esi, gathered to discuss new initiatives. Their faces were a tapestry of strength and hope, some marked by the sun, others by years of toil. They spoke passionately about building a community library, inspired by stories of villages in the Volta region where parents had united to create spaces for children to read and grow. If we build this library, Mama Esi said, our children will have the world at their fingertips. The women nodded, their hands joined in solidarity, ready to overcome barriers of poverty and infrastructure just as others had done across Ghana. Scene: Kwame's promise. As the sun set, Kwame sat beneath the baobab tree, reading from a worn book. His face was youthful but determined, his dark eyes reflecting the flickering firelight. He thought of the journey from the dusty village paths to the city school and back, of the sacrifices his mother made, and the promise he carried. "I will become a teacher," he vowed quietly. "I will return to Nkwanta and help others find their way." His resolve mirrored the stories of young Ghanaian students who, despite challenges, dreamed of becoming educators and leaders to uplift their communities. Scene: a village transformed. The village of Nkwanta thrived, not just in buildings and books, but in spirit. Children learned under sturdy roofs, parents engaged in school activities, and teachers inspired generations. The story of a poor widow's sacrifice and a billionaire's kindness had become a legend, a testament to the power of hope, community, and education. "This is our future," Mama Esi said softly, watching children play. A future built on sacrifice, love, and the courage to dream. The journey to the heart of a humble African village where Mama Esi, a poor widow, offers her last 2 chickens to pay her son Kwame's school fees. Witness the powerful encounter with a benevolent billionaire whose unexpected kindness transforms their lives forever. This animated folktale blends rich cultural heritage, emotional storytelling, and vivid visuals to explore themes of sacrifice, hope, and community resilience. Subscribe and turn on notifications to follow Kwame's inspiring journey and discover more stories that celebrate courage and the human spirit. It means a lot to us. Also, share this video with your friends and loved ones and turn on post notifications so you don't miss our future videos. Thank you for doing so.